We're going to cover 3 types of bunts. Sacrifice bunt, designed to move the runners to scoring position or even to home on a suicide squeeze. A push bunt for a base hit, and a drag bunt for a base hit. Here's the proper stance for a sacrifice bunt. Sacrifice bunt is used to advance the runners. A lot of times the runners will actually be stealing, and in some cases to win a game or to tie a game, you'll have a suicide squeeze play on to where the man on third is actually running home. And very important that we get the ball down anywhere but the pitcher. So we tell our players when we're bunting, better foul than back to the pitcher. We never want to lay a bunt down to the pitcher because that person can make a play pretty much anywhere. Easy play to first, easy play to home on a suicide squeeze, even make the play at second if we're trying to move the runner from first to second. So very important we tell our players, better foul than back to the pitcher. Of course, with 2 strikes, a bunt foul is an out. So your player needs to understand that as well. But here's the proper stance here. We have the right hand lightly holding the bat with the balance. We have the left hand holding the knob for more of the control of the bat. We have somewhat of an open stance and head fully turned because we're focused on just making contact here. So very important to show this in plenty enough time to get in this position. We don't want to show this too early, but it is important to show it early enough to get in position. That way we make sure we make contact, get the bunt down, advance the runner. Sometimes suicide squeeze, advancing the runner home. Something else to keep in mind on a sacrifice play or a squeeze play is that it can never be done with 2 outs. We need to force the tag here and not a simple force out. Of course, when a lot of moving parts are happening and the defense feels rushed in this scenario, it's going to be very hard to make the play and get the tag down. However, if there are 2 outs, any kind of force scenario is going to be much easier for the defense to accomplish than a tag play. As you know, and more oftentimes than not, pitches coming on a sacrifice bunt are rarely going to be down the middle. We have to prepare our bunters to make the adjustment to bunt a high pitch, low pitch all over the zone because our runners aren't advancing, especially from third to home. If we don't make contact, it's going to be an easy tag out at home, or we're going to jeopardize the runner stealing second or third to get thrown out. When making the adjustment for a high pitch or a low pitch, it's very important that we keep our head and the bat in sync, which requires us to stand tall on a high pitch to keep the bat and the head in sync, and dropping our bottom on a low pitch, also keeping the bat and the head in sync for maximum contact. A common mistake for sacrifice bunts is instead of dropping the bottom on low pitches is they drop the barrel, which will create a pop fly and could very possibly, with runners advancing, create a double play. Next, we'll talk about push bunts for base hits, which are incredibly effective if done correctly. Never recommended on a dirt infield, recommended for a grass infield, and if the second baseman is playing normal position or deep. This is designed to be a bunt to the second baseman that's hard enough to be beyond the pitcher and or a charging first baseman, however shallow enough to where the second baseman cannot make the play. Footwork is different for a bunt for base hit compared to a sacrifice bunt. Goal here is to not show it early and show it as late as possible while also getting the bunter into running position to first base. As you can see here, bunter drops right foot before making contact with the ball, lays the bunt down, and is in sprinting stance on his way to first base. Third type of bunt is the Dragbot, the most popular way to bunt for a base hit. Goal here is to get the ball down the third baseline to a third baseman who is either playing deep for a bunter with some speed or a lot of speed, or you can also pull this off on a third baseman playing normal position slightly in if the bunter has a lot of speed. Footwork is the same on the push bunt as is the drag bunt. Goal here is to get in that sprinting position before making contact with the ball. And as soon as we make contact with the ball, we're dropping the bat, sprinting to first base. Lastly, we'll leave you with a fun bunt drill, a rapid fire bunt drill that allows our hitters to get a lot of reps without thinking too much, get them comfortable with laying bunts down. Goal here is to never bunt the ball back to the pitcher. So always remember, better foul than back to the pitcher.